Yo, what up, guys? Beside you here, there seems to be some hot information dropping right now regarding the upcoming Cursed City, the newest content in Raid Shadow Legends. I haven't seen the video or all the information. I just know there's a new mythical champion we can obtain by beating these stages, new artifact sets that are coming with that content also, and maybe we'll find out more details about the boss from this their update preview video that I'm gonna watch right now. So this is the free legendary or mythical champion we're getting, and let's see what they have to say about this new content that is coming up. So I'll just watch for the first time and see what I have to react and say about it.
Hey there everyone, welcome back to another update preview video, where today we'll be showing off one of our biggest features to date, the Cursed City. The gates to this accursed place.
I'm saying it wrong all this time. Is it cursed or cursed? I don't know. I just called it cursed all this time. So now they're saying it's cursed. I don't know. Which one do you think is right?
Also known by the city's original name of Central.
You see, it has a hard mode. Well, you can probably see it behind me right here. I can't move away. It has a hard mode and a normal mode. This is going to be interesting. So he is like the leader. I can see him right here at this portion of the map. He's going to be like the leader you eventually get when you beat all the stages. Okay, this is better. So that's it right here. This champion. Is it going to be at the end of the hard mode that you get him eventually? Because it seems like it's going to be a long grind to get him. He better be worth it. We'll check out his skills and see if he's worth it. But I might not spend much time on that. Let's keep watching.
Kronos will be open soon. So let's find out what challenges await and the rewards you'll be reaping. First things first, Cursed City is a brand new game mode available to players of level 52 and above.
Yep.
The name isn't just for show either. You have an entire city to explore here. There's 100 stages spread across 4 districts, with each district getting progressively harder to complete. There's new challenges and fiendish twists on old classics. Then there's the Eclipse Tower, home to Raid's newest boss, and the current Lord of Centranos, Amius the Lunar Archon. In order to take on this moon-obsessed recluse, you'll need to unlock the path to him. Each month, a new rotation of the Cursed City will begin, resetting your progress from the previous month. The stages of each district in the Cursed City will remain the same.
So it's like Doom Tower. When you go up, it resets. But Doom Tower, the difference is you only have one part from the bottom all the way to the top. But it has 3 rotations. So this is like each part is a different rotation. And when it changes, you encounter different bosses, different affinities than you used before. Let's say you went on this green part before. And when you come back to it, it will not be the same as before. It won't be the same enemies you face when you go again on this green part. So this is a long one where we have to deal with bosses that we already know in the game. I'm seeing Dark Fae over here. I'm seeing the Ice Golem boss over here. I thought the bosses would be paired together. I'm seeing the dragon, the new, okay, this one now you can see they are paired together right here. I'm seeing the dragon and is that Ice Golem or something else? 2 bosses are paired together, and then we have this scarab or this nether spider over there also. So we are recognizing some faces that we already know, but when we get to this bridge, you have to face the boss that has 2 bosses in one. I wonder how that will be done. Is it 2 bosses at the same time or differently? Let's keep watching.
But the requirements you'll need to beat them will change. We'll describe those later in the video. Entering stages of the Cursed City is similar to Doom Tower rooms, in that you'll need Cursed City keys. You'll get a set number of these each day, and they won't be spent unless you successfully complete the stage you're taking on. You can't buy these or stack them over multiple days, so use them or lose them. The Cursed City has 2 difficulties, normal and hard. The default difficulty will be set to hard, but you can switch at any point. Cursed City keys aren't tied to either difficulty. Although you'll get enough keys to complete all stages in both difficulties, it would be prudent to plan your progress rather than switch around wildly. Now, here comes the fun part. You can chart your own journey through the Cursed City. You always start in the District of Cobble Market, but the path you take from there is up to you. You can head straight for the biggest enemies you can find first, or indulge your inner completionist and try to clear every stage of a district before moving on. That's how it works. But it'd be a pretty short update preview video if we just left it there, right?
So I'm going straight for the boss. We want to hit that roadblock and see how far we can go. I don't care about these rewards along the way. Normally, we just head straight to the boss and see when we hit that roadblock, you now begin to go back and clear everything else that you missed. That's how we do Doom Tower right now. We clear everything before we go back and start fighting the secret rooms. So let's see whether we'll do the same thing right here. So because starting one stage and then switching over to the blue and then switching over to the red, that means you would never actually reach this boss. So
the Cursed City is split into 4 districts: Cobble Market, Dead Rise, Plague Home, and Soul Cross, with each district getting progressively harder. You're eased into the horrors of the Cursed City through Cobble Market. Dead Rise and Plague Home are where the difficulty climbs slightly, and Soul Cross, well, Soul Cross is the stuff nightmares are made of. Each district has exactly 25 stages, and that number won't change between rotations. The other thing that won't change is the position of individual stages on the map, or the paths that connect them. Urban redevelopment is not high up on Amius's list of priorities. Each stage within the districts can be one of 4 types: regular, boss, double boss, or awakening. Let's run through them one by one. Regular stages are your standard run-of-the-mill battles in Raid, like you'd find in the campaign. You'll fight across 3 rounds with a wave of enemies in each round. You've faced these types of battles hundreds of times before, but the ones found in the Cursed City might be a little more difficult than you're used to.
how?
Next up, we've got Awakened stages. As the name implies, you'll need to bring your Awakened champions to take on these stages. Each Awakened stage requires a certain number of Awakening levels across your whole team, indicated by red stars on a champion's portrait. So, if an Awakened stages requires 6 red stars, you could bring 1 champion with 6 red stars on their portrait, or 2 champions with 3 red stars, and so on. Once the requirement has been met, you can then focus on filling out your team with the best champions for the...
Now they showed us the easy part. What if it requires 20 red stars? That means everybody in your team must be awakened. I know they are showing us just the beginning part where it just says 1, 2, 4 red stars. Everybody has 1, 2, or 4 red stars, right? But when it requires 20, 25 red stars, that means everybody on your team should be 5-star awakened. That's when it begins to get brutal, because I know they'll require it, but at least now it's clear that it's not compulsory that you do those particular red parts. I don't know what they call that region, but you can just focus on one region to get to the boss and forget about that other one. But I bet you the rewards for using or beating those stages will be higher than the Cobble Market or whatever stages.
The job. Completing Awakened stages isn't necessary to get to Amius the Lunar Archon. They can offer an alternative route though, and give you some pretty sweet rewards when completing them for the first time.
I knew it.
Moving on, we've got boss stages. Here, you'll be taking on some of Talaria's most famous foes, like the Iron Twins of Auname the Sand Devil. A quick glimpse at the Cursed City map reveals that these boss stages are often located at key landmarks, like bridges between districts or paths leading to the next kind of stage, double boss. Yep, that's right, the bad guys are teaming up. There are 12 double boss stages in total, with 3 popping up in each district. The location of the double boss stages in each rotation of the Cursed City will always be the same. You'll also find that the boss duos will scale with each district's difficulty. So don't worry about walking into Cobble Market and facing off against Astronix the Dark Fae immediately. You'll need to clear these double boss stages in order to get Eclipse Keys. Collecting 3 Eclipse Keys will grant you passage into the Eclipse Tower at the center of the Cursed City.
Let's assume they don't change much about these double bosses. Let them remain the same that they were in the game where we currently beat them single. So I don't think anybody who currently beat those bosses when they are single will have a problem putting together a team that will beat them when they are together. Just have to survive a little longer and just maybe longer battle, I think. I hope they don't make some changes to those bosses, passive or active skills, and make them hit harder than they normally do where they are currently in level 25 or even hard mode of the dungeons. And then the ones for Doom Tower also. Let's hope they leave the bosses as they are and not make them too difficult and impossible to beat, where you have to think about an entire new strategy, as if strategizing for the boss wasn't hard enough.
And let you take on Amius the Lunar Archon. We'll release a separate video talking about that fight, but for now, let's just focus on getting you there. Each of the 3 Eclipse Keys can be found in one of the double boss stages in Cobble Market, Dead Rise, and Plague Home. The location of the Eclipse Key within each district will also change with each rotation.
So for you to get to the boss, you have to visit those 3 areas. It's not one of those zones say you just fight in one direction like they said. You actually have to branch out to the other regions that you are avoiding that are more difficult to actually pick up those eclipse keys. So it doesn't seem like you just focus on only one area repeatedly and forget about all the other 3 areas. You have to eventually branch out to those other areas because the keys to unlock or fight the boss will be stored in those areas. So they don't want you to stay in one area and fight it repeatedly. So they want you to explore and get those keys if you eventually want to face off with the boss.
It will always be random, but you'll see it in the stage rewards. Knowing about the types of stages is helpful, but it's not quite that simple in Cursed City. Every single stage, including boss stages, will have a number of restrictions on the champions you can bring. Think of Doom Tower's secret rooms, and you'll get the general idea. Some will restrict which rarity of champion you can bring.
So let me guess. If we are currently beating the Iron Twist Fortress with Geomancer, and then we face him in this Cursed City, they might say, no Geomancer, or whatever affinity or what type of damage he deals. They can just set a limit like that say no epics or something like that for that particular boss, and then it's a longer battle. So I guess it challenges us for bring up new ways to beat that particular boss. For example, the dragon that does a lot of poison, they might just say no poison. I'm just assuming those bosses that we faced before, now there are new rules. Then when you face them in this Cursed City, they have different entirely new rules for the affinity, for the faction, and then for maybe the type of champion, type of damage they do that you can use to fight them. It's exciting, it's new, and it's gonna give us a lot of content to talk about. You will see a playlist on my channel about every stage that I beat and how I did it. Of course, starting with normal. I'm not just gonna go crazy and go to the hard mode. I'm not that savage. I'll first of all progress through all the normal stages and see how we go. So make sure you subscribe to stay on that journey and see how much fun we can get from this new content, Cursed City. It's new, it's exciting. It's like campaign, but with 500 stages. Let's see.
Or perhaps which affinity, type, or faction. Some of these restrictions are unique to the hard difficulty, however, and you won't have to worry about them on normal.
Yes.
These unique stage restrictions will change with every rotation, so don't expect to be able to rely on the same path.
So there are champions in raid you've never built, you've said they are trash. Eventually, for one of these stages, you might have to go take them to 60, put mastery on them and bring them in there. That's what I'm thinking. So if you've been throwing away some crazy epics that say you don't build, you don't want them, sometimes you might want 2 or 3 of them in particular stage. So let's just see how it goes. We'll have to begin to build champions we never thought about. I think this will bring out a lot of potential in the champions who've put in the vault and not used for a long time. They'll begin to shine more in content like this. This is a good one. I like that we have to now begin to think of champions we never normally would use for content, so you don't see the same champions all over and over again. That's why they are making specific changes to these bosses you have to face and the type of champions you can come in right here in terms of their affinity and all that. I like it. I like the idea. I hope they don't just make it too hard or impossible in terms of the bosses. As long as there's a way to beat them, we will find our way with the champions we have. We have all the champions. We just have to think outside the box and build them differently maybe. That will be fun to do. Hopefully these champions can still be used in other content where we use them. I don't want to be building champions for this new content and then they are now useless for other content. We want to see a lot of solo strategies. Expect the community to come up with that. Solo this boss for Cursed City. A lot of videos like that will come up. I like it.
You'll have to change up how you traverse the districts. All right, we've covered a lot here. So, quick recap. You have a full month to explore the Cursed City. Find the Eclipse Keys from double boss stages, and storm
1
the
month.
Eclipse Tower to defeat Amius the Lunar Archon. How you weave your way through the streets of Centranos is up to you. Now let's get on to quests and rewards. As you're exploring the Cursed City, there are dedicated Cursed City quests for you to complete.
Hold on. Now you notice there's no energy being used in this Cursed City, right? So this means that despite you having things to do in the game, there might be a fusion, there might be a dragon tournament, there might be other things in the game going on. You're building your Hydra team, you're building your dragon team and all that. You might still have time to spend your keys in here daily. If you don't have time, you can forget it. So it's not a new content that will make you not want to play the old content. So I like that they are not using things from the old content. So that's one thing to know. Don't think that it will use your energy, your silver, except you want to rebuild champions you use for this content. Think of it like faction wars. Think of it like Doom Tower. They're just separate on their own and they don't use things from the game that you already use in every other content. So it's nice, but it has its own quest. Let's find out whether it's going to be tied to the in-game quest or it's going to be on just individual quest on its own that you have to do daily.
They're pretty simple. Things like complete a specific number of stages, complete awakened stages, defeat Amius himself, you get the gist. Each Cursed City quest you complete will earn you Cursed Candles. Collect enough candles and you can earn rewards.
What is with raid and candles? At this point, it's beginning to be a meme. Yeah, so in love with candles. Even the new boss right now has a lot of candles going on for him. What's in the chest? Let's see what reward we get. Hopefully, it's something that will be good enough for us to want to do those quests.
Clearing stages of the Cursed City on hard difficulty will grant you occult Cursed Candles, as well as access to a unique chain of one-time rewards, including a mythical champion, Carnage the Anarch. This ancient demon spawn is a living avatar of chaos.
So the candles in the normal stages doesn't give you this mythical champion. The candles in the hard stage give you these mythical champions, just to get that one clear. So for those starting in normal, just know that you get those candles and unlock something. They didn't talk about the reward, but they talked about the reward from the red candles, which will give you these mythical champions. Yeah, I have his skills and all that, but we'll not go into that in this video. I think this is already getting too long.
And is the one responsible for the evil plaguing Centranos, so he'll be sure to bring some firepower to your champion collection. You'll need a couple of successful visits through Centranos to get enough occult Cursed Candles to acquire Carnage, though. So be sure to check in daily and use those Cursed City keys. You want more? We've got more. Even after you've claimed all of the one-time rewards.
Okay.
Completing Cursed City quests will give you Cursed Chests. These contain a variety of useful treasures, including mythical skill tomes and souls to awaken Carnage.
That's it. That's good. After you've cleared it, it's not something you can just say, forget about it, I no longer want to do it. Like some people no longer farm content like the Doom Tower. But hey, here we go. Even after you cleared it once, you can still go there daily to get some awesome stuff. It's nice. So Mythical is finally here. We've been waiting for this for so long. It's finally here, and now it's tied to this new content. Hopefully this is the only place you can get it. It will be so hard to get, but I think it will be for sale. I know that this will be for sale.
As if all of that wasn't enough for you, there are also one-time rewards when you beat a stage for the first time, similar to the Doom Tower. They'll also reset with each rotation. Rewards differ on normal and hard difficulty, and they'll become more valuable as you progress through the districts. All stages will drop rewards, but the best stuff is saved for those brave or foolish enough to take on double boss stages. Some of the rewards will include Cursed Remnants, which you can collect to summon epic and mythical champions. There's also a new type of charm for crafting mythical artifacts in the fort.
Wait, they just brushed through that. You have a new type of resource that will allow you summon. Did they say mythical champions?
Collect to summon epic and mythical champions.
This is an entirely new shard. Let's just call it that. It's a new shard. But you can only get it from the Cursed City. Can summon epics and mythical champions. They didn't say legendaries though. They skipped out on that part. Hopefully it doesn't summon rares. That's what I want to hear. Let me just rewind that again.
Mythical champions. There's also a new type. Some of the rewards will include Cursed Remnants, which you can collect to summon epic and mythical champions. There's also a new type of charm for crafting mythical artifacts in the Forge, which can be used on any artifact set. You may also earn Cursed Chests from some stages, and these can contain gear from 2 new artifact sets. Let's take a look at what they can do. Introducing the Supersonic and Merciless gear sets.
Another gear set. That's my feeling once seeing it. I don't know what they do yet, but from my first impression is another gear set. What happened to all the gear sets we currently have in the game? Why not improve those? Why are we getting a new, entirely different gear set? I guess we know why. Let's see. Hopefully this is going to be better than speed, better than any other one that we currently have in the game. Obviously, it will be better. I'm thinking one will have to do with something that's speed. then the other will have to do something with damage. I'm thinking. So lethal will now be less valuable. This is not just me speculating. Let me hear what this set to.
They are variable gear sets, meaning you get new bonuses for each artifact or accessory equipped, all the way up to a maximum of 9 pieces. First up, we have the Supersonic set. Need your champions to go fast. This is the set for you. It offers boost to HP and resistance, as well as a massive increase to speed. But the real bonuses from this set include chances to manipulate your turn meter when equipped with 4, 6, or 9 pieces. You can see these bonuses on screen now. Put it on champions you need to be fast and
82% speed, 30% increase in turn meter effects, 30% reduction turn meter effects. This is a crazy set. Not just speed now. The turn meter part is crazy. Even more turn meter part buff placed on enemy. This is going to be the fastest set in the game, not just because of the 32% speed, but for the turn meter effects, both of them. It's going to be crazy good for arena or anywhere else you need to go fast. Not just for you or Hope. Okay, I think it's just for that champion who wears it. I don't think it will be for the entire team. It will be for that champion who wears it, I think.
They'll be zooming. The second gear set is Merciless. This is perfect for damage dealers who are laser focused on wiping out their enemies in a single strike.
So I was right. One will be about speed and the other will be about damage. I haven't seen this video before. I just know what Raid is thinking. These are the two places that will make players actually want these sets, if it has to do with speed and damage. So I guess this one will now be better than Lethal, because I can already see a 35% ignore defense in there with crit damage and attack and speed, because damage dealers usually lack speed. 30% chance of reducing random skill cooldown also. Whoa.
Increases the wearer's attack, critical damage, and speed, as well as offering a little bit of ignore defense for good measure. There's also chances to reduce cooldowns and gain extra turns with the bonuses for either having 4 or 9 pieces equipped, which you can see on your screen now. Whew. I believe that's everything. We hope you're as excited as we are to dive into everything that the Cursed City has to offer. Keep your eyes peeled for another video coming soon, where we'll talk more about the big bad boss of the Cursed City, Amius the Lunar Archon. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the awesome things coming to Raid.
I'm gonna like this one. I'm actually gonna like this one because I actually like this video. I like this new content, but that's not all. They released this graphic right here talking about the new mythical champions. If you want to take a look at his skills, I'm not going to drag this video any longer. You can pause and read more about his skills right here. Let me take my big head out of the video for a second, so you can pause and read more about him to know whether it's going to be something you want to go for or not. I don't have time to read this right now, but I'll check it out later. We can talk about it later in the Discord or even the live stream. Join me later in the evening when I go live. And then this is his alternate form, Carnage the Anarch. Is it worth it? All this trouble? I mean, the rewards you get along the way is going to be worth it, but him himself, is it crazy good? And if I just have some time to read what Raid has to say about him, they said he's a demon spawn, faction champion, mythical, attack-based, spirit affinity champion. Why not Void? Lydia is Void. Why is it not Void? Anyways, he said Arena will be the main place to shine for Carnage the Anarch, and a brand new seal debuff will be a very interesting thing to work with. So he has a new debuff that is coming into the game with. This debuff allows to turn off the effects from gear sets and masteries. What? This debuff allows to turn off the effects from gear sets and masteries. So if you put it on somebody, their gear set and their masteries no longer count. They just become like a level 60 champion with no gear and no masteries. They say, except stats boosts granted by artifact and accessory. Okay, stats boosts. As well as masteries that only boost stats, like blade, discipline, flawless execution. There are exceptions, I guess. All right. Okay. I thought it just takes everything up like a lockout or something. That means he will need accuracy, and they say there is a what do you call this thing now? a fix coming to polymorph. So I guess that's the first thing people will say. Oh, what about polymorph? Polymorph is going to make him not land all this, but polymorph is going to be fixed in the new year. That's what they've promised us. And it doesn't block effects that are activated before these debuffs are placed. I don't know what that means. In the base form, Carnage's main goal is to debuff the enemy team by gaining maximum bonuses on his alternate form afterward. While in alternate form, Carnage the Anarch becomes a pure damage dealer, just like the boss, that boosts his performance thanks to debuffs on his enemies. I don't know how long it will take us to get this boss. I mean, to get Carnage eventually, but I don't think he's the ultimate goal for most players who are going to be testing out the new content. It's just going to be about the gear and all the awesome bosses who face along the way. That first new experience, that first challenge when you get stuck somewhere and you're trying to beat or trying to build special teams to beat it eventually, that will be the more fun. And then when we finally eventually get this champion, it might be like, oh, finally I did it. Now what else am I gonna do? So it's just gonna be a disappointment if you rush through this content. I recommend you go through the normal stage first. Don't just go straight to hard and try to get him so fast. But again, there are some stages right here which you benefit from mythical champions and that you can use and all that good stuff. So maybe some people start with hard. I'm gonna start with normal, and maybe you guys can subscribe and like so you can know when I put out that playlist that will showcase this Cursed City and how I beat all those content. I can't wait for them to drop it. A patch 8.0 highlights is also released. If I head over to the Discord, I'll post this link in the description below so you can read more details about everything in this video, so you can take a better look at it. All the stats, everything that they talked about in the video is right here, including the champion skills and all that good stuff. I'm not going to delay any longer. I just wanted to share my first impressions about this new content, and I like it. Surprisingly, right? Nobody will be like, oh no. Well, it has a normal mode. As long as it has a normal mode, endgame players can test that out first and enjoy it before we begin to go to the hard mode and feel pain. Because that's what it's going to be. That's what I just predict. All right. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.